Am I the asshole for not baby-proofing my home? My friend and her 2-year-old son came to visit me last week. She's a single mom and we rarely see each other because we live far apart. I just moved into a bigger apartment, so they came to stay with me for a few days. Everything was fine at first, we had fun, and although I'm not good with kids, I tried my best. One morning we were all in the kitchen, my friend and I made breakfast while the boy was playing with a toy on the floor. After a while, my friend left the room to take a call and was gone for a few minutes. I'm not used to having kids around, so I didn't think twice about leaving him alone when I left to go pee. My friend was just in the next room, the door was open too. I also had to walk through the living room to get to the bathroom, so she knew I was leaving him alone in there. When I came back, she was still on the phone explaining something to her coworker and the kid was still in the kitchen. But when she came back, she noticed a bunch of photos on the floor. I had put them up on my fridge with small neodymium magnets, so we started looking for those but didn't find any. Knowing how dangerous magnets can be for kids, we immediately tried to find out if he ate any, but he just started crying, so I drove us to an ER. My friend was panicking in the car and started yelling at me, "Why do you even have tiny magnets in the first place? You should have told me about it before. Why did you leave him all alone?" I was driving and tried to focus, so I didn't answer her. Honestly, I just never thought about my fridge magnets being a hazard. All was fine in the end. He ate one magnet, but it wasn't a big deal as there wasn't any other ones. I was relieved and said, "Let's go home. I'll take down the other magnets and see what else I might have to baby-proof for the next few days." But my friend was still furious with me and demanded I drop them off at a hotel and bring her things because who knows what chemicals I have lying around in child's reach. She can't take her eyes off of him for a second in that house. I tried to calm her down and reassure her that nothing else was going to happen and I'd keep a closer eye, but she refused. She just kept yelling at me. I dropped her off at a hotel and haven't heard from her since. Until this morning, she called and said that she's disappointed that I didn't even apologize for putting her child in danger. That I don't care about his well-being because I don't like children, but I don't want him to die, obviously. And that I was clearly not even worried when it happened. I don't mind apologizing, but am I really the only one to blame here? I never have kids around, and while I did remember to put detergent and cleaning supplies out of reach, I just didn't think about the magnets. I could have done more and maybe shouldn't have left him alone in the room, but she has done it too and I just didn't consider it. Her guilty conscience is getting projected to you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, it was her responsibility to watch the kid. I don't demand people to baby-proof their house when we come over. Even so, she should have said this call might take a while, could you keep an eye on him? Then you might not have left him alone. I fail to understand how the inability to watch her own kid was now your fault. I've taken loads of calls and still was able to watch my kid, or specifically asked someone to watch them as I took a call. It's not that hard. Of course this whole thing was scary and he might just be lashing out because of adrenaline, but this just seems so weird to me. Watch your own kid, lady. Not the asshole. I have a friend that comes over with her toddler and the first thing she does is a happy lap around the room to inspect anything that may be dangerous or fragile and puts it away. I don't mind, and B, she watches her toddler at all times. Her kid, her responsibility. Not the asshole. Parents have to watch small children. They can never assume a place is baby-proofed. If they do, ask them to pay for it. Not the asshole. You don't have kids, why would you baby-proof? It's the parent's job to check out the environment and watch their kid. Not the asshole. Why did you leave your 2-year-old to talk on the phone? Not the asshole. You cannot watch a kid all the time. Your friend is being unfair. Even moms have to pee and will have to leave their kids alone for a few minutes. You are not to blame. Moreover, you handled the situation well by taking them to the ER, and even offering to take down the magnets and to further baby-proof your house. What more should she want? Nata. I have a toddler and a crawling baby. I don't expect people to baby-proof when I visit. I ask if I can move things as they become an issue, and I watch my kids because they're my kids. Not your kid, not really your problem to make sure you keep an eagle eye on them and stress yourself out, woman shrugging. Not the asshole you don't child-proof your home unless you are a daycare or have a child. Who knows what chemicals I have lying around in child's reach, she can't take her eyes off of him for a second in that house. No, she can't. Why did she expect that? You didn't sign up to be a daycare center for 3 days. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If a parent of a toddler walks into a house and doesn't survey for disaster, they're a bad parent. Info. Did she ask you to watch her kid when she left the room or just assume you would? If she asked, the ESH because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that a 2-year-old in an environment that doesn't usually house a toddler needs to be watched. If she didn't, NTA because not your kid. Not the asshole. Even with my own kids there were many things I didn't think about until it became an issue. Kid leaves the dog water bowl alone for months and months until one day they decide to drink from it. Your friend should have explicitly asked you, can you please watch baby X while I make a phone call? That would have tripped your memory to realize, oh, I promised to watch the baby until mom comes back. I agree that she feels guilty and is lashing out. Not the asshole for not baby-proofing your home. You don't have kids so likely aren't all that familiar with this. For future reference, never leave a child of that age alone. It's impossible to predict what they'll get into, but they will get into something. Not the asshole. It's her job to supervise her kid. Not the asshole. Your friend is just projecting 'cause really she's to blame. But you hear so many horror stories about kids and those little magnets, she's just scared. The only way I could see you being at fault is if there was some sort of confirmation that you would watch her kid while she took the call and then left him alone anyway. Otherwise, not the asshole, because baby-proofing things is definitely not intuitive for people without kids. Not the asshole. It's not your fault toddlers and children have a perpetual death wish. You don't have kids, so of course your home isn't baby-proofed. Your friend is the primary responsible adult for her own child, so she should be the one observing and keeping an eye on them. Not the asshole. She feels guilty and is projecting that on you. Not the asshole. We used to go to my friend's house every Sunday without toddler and she didn't baby-proof. We all just watched our little one closely. Honestly, even parents make mistakes. Plenty of preventable accidents happen under parents' care, too. We've had a few. Jammed a chocolate foil wrapper up her nose, for example. Just for the future, don't leave toddlers unattended. They are fast little ninjas. Not the asshole. She should have inspected the house when they first got there. And I imagine she's doubling down so hard BC she knows she should have been watching him. Not the asshole. You don't have kids and your friend does. I have friends with kids. I'm hoping to have one kid. Anyway, when they come over I ask them anything you need to me to move. No, they watch their kids. Your friend is the issue, not you. Not the asshole. You go to visit others, you are responsible for your own child. No amount of stress or fear can excuse shitty behavior. Tell her that. I'm 60F and hubby I had 2 kids. She's TA, it's her kid and her job to keep eyes on her kid at all times. If she took a call, then she should have said to you that it's up to you to watch the baby. If that had happened, then you would have to watch the baby at all times and not go pee. You'd need to bring the baby to her and let her know baby was back to her. But if she didn't make this clear when she visited, that's on her. You shouldn't have to completely baby-proof your home. You don't have a baby. It's her child and her responsibility to look after him. She's probably just feeling guilty and panicked over what happened. TBH, I wouldn't have thought about fridge magnets either. Hopefully she'll reach out and apologize for being so mean. not the asshole.